It's like a woman that's pretty. Just because a woman's beautiful does not mean that she's a high value woman. It just means that she's attractive.
Right.
I think that this whole high value thing has gone over the top.
Yeah. Honestly, the whole term is becoming very obnoxious to me. Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to our channel if you enjoy our content. Okay, so we have yet another viewer topic email, and we're going to try to answer this best we can. So he says, hi, I'm new to the channel. I added you because for once it's good to hear from women creating content, giving a non-biased perspective of these conversations. I want to ask you that with all this high value talk, does it feel like this conversation has us average high middle class guys being viewed as leftovers? So I'm actually happy he even asked this question, because we actually mentioned this in one of those videos. Is that it's like a tail end of one of those videos. We were saying that everyone is so, I'm saying everyone, there are women out here who are so focused on this six-figure guy and are, you know, and are just, they cannot get past this whole six-figure thing, that we are not paying, we said this before, we're not paying attention to men who are, in my opinion, high value too.
Right.
Now, I understand that what Kevin Samuel's world, what they're saying is that part of being high value is having a lot of money. I understand that point. But I just think that there's a part of high value to at least me, us, that is a hard-working man who maybe makes five figures, middle range to upper five, whatever figures, and is holding down his family. And that person, you are right, sir, that person is getting, that man is getting completely overlooked because everyone is trying to have this guy that all of a sudden, you know, I'm like, it's insane to me that for years we have, the goal has always been like to have a nice family. Middle class, upper middle class, whatever. It's a nice family, and now we're in this world where I like to call it like the Gucci world, where you gotta have all this stuff, Birkin bags and stuff like that. So in order to have all that stuff and have all the, you know, the Benz and Lamborghinis and all that, you gotta have this rich man so you can have this rich looking life, you know, and that is completely disregarding a whole group of men. Right. That, like he's saying, us average high middle class guys. And I don't think of these men as
first of all, six-figure men are not high valued automatically.
Right.
You don't get a title like that just because you're a paper person.
Absolutely.
What that whole high value thing is about people on paper.
Right. Because
you have this or you have that, you're somehow better or in a better position than most people. Both of us have been in relationships that were on the way to marriage.
Right.
With six-figure men. And we broke it off. Those men were not high value. They just had money. Right. And that doesn't mean because someone has, it's like a woman that's pretty. Just because a woman's beautiful does not mean that she's a high value woman. It just means that she's attractive. Right. Right. That's exactly it. You know what I mean? That is really it. Yeah. And I think that this whole high value thing has gone over the top. Yeah. It makes men feel like if you don't have a crap load of money, then you're not valuable. Yeah, like you're not in the running. And when the truth is that that's ridiculous. Why are women acting like they don't date men that are like average? Most women are not dating men with six figures. No, they're not. Because first of all, there aren't a lot. Thank you. There's not even a lot of six-figure men. So the vast majority of women are dating just regular guys who have good jobs and are doing. I guess when I'm thinking about this whole high value thing, because it's honestly the whole term is becoming very obnoxious to me. Because there are good men out there who have a lot of money. Yes, there are. You know, that's fine. But there are men who are in this tax bracket that are not all great. We got to be able to think a little differently here. I mean, like we have to be able to think
if you're a woman who wants to have some rich life, you know, and you want that whole look, you know, and that, I'm not mad at you for that. I mean, it's fine. Everybody, to each their own on that. But there is a thing where I do think, like he said, are they getting viewed as leftovers?
No.
And not in my book, they're not. No. They're not. I have, you know, been in a relationship with a man who makes moderate income. I've been in a relationship with a man who makes extreme income. And, you know, like, it depends on the man. Depends on the man. It really depends on the money. It depends on the man, it doesn't depend on the money.
Or I've said before that I do like men who, I like men who like what they do. Yeah, because I think that when men like what they do and they can make money at it, I do think that it makes them happier and it makes them better in relationships because they're happy. Yeah, they're happy they're proud of themselves, and they're easier to date. When men are unhappy with their life, they're harder to date because they're not in a good place. Right. You know what I mean? So I do think that a majority of men, money matters to them. Right. Because it just does. You know what I mean? That's part of being a man. Yeah. You know what I mean? I have said before that I like that in a man. And I was trying to explain that before, and I couldn't articulate it, what it is that women actually want, because it's not money. It really isn't money. You know what I mean? Money is a factor. It's kind of what it represents. We need it. You know what I mean? We need it. And for women, it's always about security. We like men who can take care of us and who can give us that backbone to make sure that we're all going to be okay in this house. You know what I mean? But I was watching a YouTuber, and I think his name is Immortal Minds. Yeah. And I'll link that. But he's a really good channel. His channel is really good. Yeah. And I like binge watched a lot of his shows the other day, and he had one show, I can't remember which one it was, but he wanted, it might even be a recent one, but he talked about what women really were wanting from men, because there is this whole thing going around about what a high value thing is going around, and he was saying, and I'm going to butcher this, but he was saying that it's not a man's muscles or a man's money or how much sex he can have or how good he is in bed or anything like that. He said it's none of that. What women are really seeking when it comes to men is a man's emotional security. That is exactly, he articulated what I wanted to say better than I did. Right. And so I 100% agree with that. When I date men, and the man that I dated that had six figures was not emotionally secure. Right. And the man that I was with, he was not. And we were ready to be married. And that's why I broke off with him, because I did not trust that he could be strong. You know what I mean? He had weak moments. So we both stepped away. I wouldn't say weak moments. He just had a weak way of being. Right. He was just really good at making money. Right. But when it came to relationships, he did fall. Yeah. You know, but he wanted to marry me. He wanted to be with me. I just couldn't see myself with a guy who didn't have that kind of strength. So we're a good example, though, because we both were on, that path with these men, like in serious relationships with these men, and we both, when we stopped seeing these men, we stayed away. You know, so that should show you that women that are of substance are not just going to stick around with you because you have a lot of money. Right. You have to have something else. Right. And that's why we did not continue. Right. Because I don't care that you have six figures and you're this high valued person on paper. Right. I do not care. Yeah. I don't. There are women who really don't give a damn. There's women out here who like, oh, well, as long as he makes a lot of money, I don't care how he acts. He got some money. I do care how. I do care how. Yeah, and that's why we left. I like how he said that, because I think that is the true substance of what women really are looking at. That's what I think. Because it's not. It's always nice to be spoiled and treated well. You know what I mean? It is. Don't get me wrong, but men who don't have a lot of money can still do that. You know what I mean? So it's not. It's not that. It is the comfort of a man's security in his emotional state. Because women are very emotional, and a lot of times if we don't have a man that is emotionally sound, we can be unbalanced. You know what I mean? And so whenever we're going through our life and we're upset about something or we're afraid of something, it's always a man's emotional security that balances us and makes us feel secure. You know what I mean? It just is. It gives us a reassurance. So when he said that, that was what I was wanting to say, but I couldn't get it when I said it in a previous video. Yeah. Is that's what I look for most in a man. Is his emotional security, his even keeled self. His I can fix it. I can deal with it. Right. You know what I mean? I'm not going to fall to pieces over something that needs to be fixed. And that doesn't mean you don't have to have six figures to do that. No, the 6-figure thing it's just annoying me. It is annoying. It's annoying me because of emails like this. Yeah. And because there are men out here, once again, the vast majority of them are not in the 6-figure range. Right. They make good money, though, and a comfortable living. And it's like they're all being based on their finances. Now, please understand, I do know that no woman wants a broke man. Right. No woman wants a man who don't have. We all know that women like men who have means because it gives us security, because what we're after is a security thing, right? Women of substance. Stay there. Don't go with other women. Women of substance want a secure man that has means and is able to hold down the fort. The strength behind his emotion, that we can all lean on him. That's really what makes it. It's not money. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You could be a man that doesn't have a lot of money at all, but everybody in your house depends on you because you show some sort of strength that everybody else doesn't have. Yeah, and we all look to you for that. You know, and so I really don't like when we start making things a thing, like this whole high valued man and woman. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then the only thing that is required to be it is surface crap. It's frustrating. You know what I mean? That really doesn't mean anything. Doesn't. Wealthy men get divorced all the time. Pretty women get divorced all the time. You know what I mean? And so when we start calling something high valued, we make something superficial more important than substance. Yeah. I would much rather have a man who made a modest living, but I could depend on him. Again, any day of the week, I would take that. Just because you make 6 figures does not qualify, automatically mean that you're some high-powered man. And the reason why they're saying that is because they're saying most women say they want that. So I get the point. I get when people make that point. Well, this is what most women are saying they want. Yeah, most women will say they want a lot of things and end up with something completely different. Yeah. Women, you know what I mean? And most women are just saying it because other women said it too. Or they saw somebody on TV, or they're emulating something. But most women want an emotionally secure man. Yeah. That's it. Now, both of the men that we were in relationships with, both repeatedly try to come back. Right. Try to keep coming back. I was as of a couple of days ago. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? So it's I'm done. I haven't gone back to a relationship since I left. But my point in saying that is that if that was all that was required, I'd be screwed. Because I'd be married to a man who was just not strong as a man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't strong like in a way of he can really support a whole family and the pressure of that. Yeah, not the money. Obviously, get the money right. But I'm just saying that the other stuff he doesn't have right. And the reason why I'm bringing up being in relationships with these types of men is because we've gotten a lot of comments lately with men saying, "Have you guys ever been in a relationship with with high value men? You're ready to get married to two. You're married to." So it's like that seems to be we try to keep it. We were because we're very transparent, so we tell a lot of our story, our life and stuff, but we want to keep the conversation kind of like not necessarily just on us, just like as a whole. But if we need to know the answer, yes, we did. We don't. It's nothing to brag. It's like I don't even want to brag. I don't want to brag about that. Nothing to really brag about. It's nothing to brag about. The relationship's over. The relationship's over and done with. But my point in saying that is that in every relationship I've ever had where it ended, I learned something from that relationship. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it had nothing to do with how much the guy was. It had to do with myself in it. Yeah. It doesn't mean that he can't be different for some other woman. Maybe he will. Harvey Weinstein was a 7-figure or 8-figure man. You know what I mean? There are a lot of men out here that make a crap load of money, and they are awful human beings. And it's disturbing to know that this is what a high value, that this is what's required, and especially for young girls who are just getting started in dating. That for them to think that means high value. And they go out here and they date these rich men, and just to be abused, treated horribly, and only because that was the only requirement they thought that meant a stable man.
Right.
That meant a man who had vision, you know, all that. Well, he's got money, so that means that he's right.
No.
And as you get older, you realize that about people.
Right.
You know, no man is going to date a woman who they consider a 10, but she's dumb as a box of rocks, and you can't take her in front of anyone, or you just don't, you know, or when the cameras are off and you're done going to parties, you can't talk to each other.
Right. And we get that too. Like when men are, we've had men.
Yeah.
These are most of the men who write in our comments, about the majority of them are all men of substance.
Right.
Okay. So this conversation is about men and women of substance. So so we're not talking about the other ones, but they'll say that beauty is wonderful. Men want beauty. They want that part of it. But if she, like Kara was saying, if she ain't got nothing to say, those men are just
after a while, that's gonna be.
She's just gonna be like sex.
Another
probably
girl.
You know, they want something to talk about. Well, same thing with women here on a different way. Yes, women like men who are able to provide a comfortable living for you, right? Women like that. That's not. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with men wanting a beautiful woman. Nothing. It's nature.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
All right. It's the way
Women
that it
want
is.
security. Men
are
visual.
Yeah, they want
like
that.
You know,
everyone's right in the situation, but don't stay in.
Don't stay there.
Don't stay in a situation with somebody based purely on the fact that they have a lot of money, and then a man stay purely for the fact that she is hot.
Yeah.
That makes you that brings down your substance as a man, and it brings down your substance as a woman if you're only looking at money. There has to be other criteria that goes into what is considered a high value man, where we have to be looking at more.
And what I will say this, and this is not my point, but I do fear that though. You know, like I said, I don't like where we're going
with all this,
with relationships and stuff. I feel like it's BS, and a lot of it's just fluff, and you know, and people are just completely lost when it comes to what's valuable in a relationship.
I know.
Relationships or long and healthy relationships and with marriage do not last on beauty and money alone.
Think about this.
Don't. And you're not with someone for 50 years happy.
Look at the history.
You know,
look at history.
Even 20 years, happy with someone, and the only thing you like about her is that she's pretty, and the only thing you like about him is that he pays bills.
That's it.
You know what's going to happen with that relationship? They're going to cheat.
Yeah.
Because they're going to need someone that's going to stimulate another part of them. We're also surface these days. Yeah. Everything is a videotape, a picture, right? You know, a Facebook post, a picture, and you know, I went to this college. I have this much money. I look like this. This is what my butt looks like in some jeans. We're just so surface, and it's becoming so boring.
It is.
Like, this is why I don't go on social media anymore very often, because I just cannot stand looking at people just overly creating themselves like they're better than they are. You know what I mean? It's just it becomes annoying after a while.
To any men out there that are listening to this that are in the moderate range, not that you even need our approval to even say this, because you guys already know y'all holding it down. You don't need. But to answer this question here, so we have gotten this question before from men that you know, just like, does everybody have to have six figures? Like, is it okay to be, you know?
And every woman doesn't require that.
Right.
So
and some of these women are being phony.
Right.
Like they're able to nab a bunch of 6-figure men.
And don't believe the hype. Sometimes stuff gets hyped up.
And it's such a BS.
And it makes people, you know, and if you are making 6 figures and you're watching, you know, we're not saying that you are not valuable.
Yeah,
we're just saying that it doesn't automatically mean that you're of value.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Your character. Your character, your drive, your need to have a fulfilled life, you know, how you treat people, how you treat yourself. These are high value to me.
Yeah.
And yes, we get this new way of high value. We understand what they're saying. Please. We understand what this Kevin Samuels world is saying. We're not saying that we don't get that.
Yeah.
It's correct. We understand that. But there are other traits that make you a high valued person. And it does not start with money. I'm sorry. When I describe a high valued man, I don't start with 6 figures, 6 feet.
Shallow people who are trying to show off.
Yeah.
And they want somebody and something to show off.
Right.
And look, on some level, you want to be proud of your husband and you want to be proud of your wife. You want a beautiful woman and you want everybody to be, like, look at me, you know what I mean? But once the cameras go off and you're out of the parties and you're not hanging out, it's just you two.
Right.
And then you see how high valued you guys feel sitting there and not having anything to talk about.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like, that's what valuable relationships are.
Yeah.
It's about two people who can really come together regardless of whatever your income is, and you can make a relationship and build on it.
Yeah. That's what it is.
That's it. Everything else is just empty nonsense that's going to eventually end in divorce.
Yeah. Because you only base it off of that.
It. Give me a man any day that has emotional strength. I mean, seriously.
Take it. I'll take it.
I'll take it. Moderate income.
Yes.
I will take that. You know what I mean? It's just like, that means so much more to me that I can lean on you and talk to you in a normal way than you making a whole lot of money and you're just annoying and empty.
Yeah. I want someone who's a protector, a provider, and someone who's going to be there to hold down for his family. Yeah. Yes, I want that.
A man who has strength, vision, and is in the mindset to be a provider is not going to be a broke man.
No, he's not.
That man doesn't exist. When a man is really just broke, and that man is a man who doesn't have vision.
Remember on A Different World when
Whitley and Dwayne. She said she wanted a man who was strong, ambitious, and she said a lot of things. Yeah. And he said, well, what if that man is poor? She said, men like that are never poor. And that is true.
She's right.
And she means that based not only on money, on just substance in general.
That's what I'm saying.
Men who are going somewhere always are going somewhere, and they always have money.
Yeah,
they do. They always have money enough to take care of a family that they want to create, or to be with a woman they want to be with. You know what I mean? So
we need to bring back men of substance and women of substance.
Yeah,
because both are lacking.
Yeah, and those things only get you through the door.
Yeah, they do. They only get you through the door,
and everything else. It's like having a college education. Yeah. It won't get you the job, but it'll get you through the door.
Yeah.
A lot of people who come to those jobs are going to have college educations. Yeah. You got to be a good interview.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that's what dating is about. Dating is getting to know someone beyond their stuff. Of course, if you're dating me, you find me physically attractive. Yeah. We've already established that. Now, who am I as a woman?
Right. I hope you want to know.
Right. You know what I mean? Okay. You took me on a nice date. You bought me something. You bought me a nice dinner. I can clearly see you can afford stuff. Now, who are you? Yeah. We have to be able to build a life. Yeah. That where we're both going the same direction. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And now what's happening is that people are being too surface, and it's getting us into a lot of trouble. Yeah. Because now everybody wants just a hot girl with no brains and a rich man with no strength. Yeah. It's like, no.
It's weird.
It's got to be more, you guys. Yeah. Thank you for the question, though. We really appreciate the question.
You are valued.
You are valuable. If you're asking us, I cannot speak for all women. There are going to be women there.
I'm saying that you're valuable.
You only make half, and then
you're valuable. You know what I mean?
You have a job, and you go to work, and you hold it down.
And you like your job. If you know what I mean, you like your job. You are valuable.
Yeah. You're valuable. You're doing your thing. Okay. Yeah. You're not being a scrub.
Right.
So you're good. Do you think that men who are in this kind of like average income bracket, or even middle class to upper middle class income bracket, are kind of like leftovers, like he said? Like are they like a second thought now? Because to me they're not. But just let us know what you think about it in the comment box below. Yeah, and again, please do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you enjoy our content. We will greatly appreciate it. Everybody have a really good weekend. Bye.